Hey, everybody. It's a great day. It's a wonderful day. Welcome to everybody that's coming into this space. Welcome as you come into the space. Thank you for being here. I am Dr. Marian Susser-Fu of Azon Life Alchemy Center, aka known as the Chat Diva. Conscious, honest, authentic talks from a divinely inspired vision of ascension. Listen, I am coming on today because I haven't been able to get back on with you all because I was really busy. I was traveling, and sometimes when you travel places, the internet is not exactly what you desire. So for me, I would rather not go live than to go live and have it looking, not the highest level of quality, and keep getting kicked out and getting frustrated with the internet. So welcome to the room. Today we're going to be talking about a couple of things, but I want to remind everybody we're in the fall solstice that just happened on yesterday, and that's some good energy for the fall. It's getting things to settle down. We're also still in retrograde, right? So that's going to have an effect upon us too. But I want to remind people, I say it all the time, retrograde is not a negative thing. Retrograde is not negative. Retrograde is not negative. Retrograde is not negative. Retrograde is to get you to see some things, reevaluate some things, release some things, people, places, and ideas that are no longer serving you, or that maybe you glossed over before that you need to revisit in order to go to your next level of your life. You also need to be able to think about some of the ways in which you are preparing yourself up. The fall is when we harvest things. So what do you want to take with you into the next year? I tell people in my community, I encourage you to start now assessing what really worked out well for you, what lessons you learned this year. And when the fall comes, when the autumn solstice comes, we begin to look at our lives and we begin to assess whether or not there are some lessons, some opportunities, some conversations, some processes, some methods, some knowledge, some wisdom that we've obtained, that we want to harvest that and we want to store it up for the next time. It's, not just rushing through it. Oh, I'm going to make a resolution for 2023. No, you need to start looking at what you've done, what worked, what benefited you, harvest it, store it up, right? And then so you can pull it back out in 2023 and hit the ground running. There's no need for us to get into this. I think we have gotten into this pattern where many of us, we say, okay, well, this year didn't work out the way I wanted to work, so let me start all over again. No, as you are evolving, as you are ascending into higher parts of who you are, you want to start having conversations with yourself. And yes, utilize those of us who have insight and abilities to look beyond the present physical world. Definitely utilize people like us, utilize people like myself who not only can do that, have that gift, but also have the wisdom of money acquisition and business development, right? Successful entrepreneurial experiences. You want to tap into somebody like us, and you want us to begin to pour into you and help you go through this process during this harvest time and make connections with us, so that you don't have to keep going all over the place when a crisis hit. You have a team that's ready for you to assess. And that's one of the things I get so humbled by sometimes in my role, is that when my business clients come to me, because when they come to me for business, yes, I'm giving them the business strategies. Yes, I'm setting up their infrastructure. Yes, I can support them in developing, the language and the mission and vision. I can help them do all the foundational things for the business that need to be in place. But I'm also looking at them as an individual. So I start working with them individually on their own personhood. How do you, why are your employees leaving? Well, you seem to have an issue with communicating effectively. You are on a power trip, whatever it is. We're looking at how you feel about money. You're so afraid to pay them a good wage because you're afraid you're not going to have the money, right? Because you've never been compensated properly. You're still burning a grudge against your previous employer. So all of these things fall into place, which is why I always talk about having life harmony. When you deal with me, I'm talking about life harmony. I'm not talking about you just focusing only on your love life, because your love life is going to affect other parts of your life. Your money is going to affect other parts of your life. Your physical health is going to affect other parts of your life. Your mindset is going to affect other parts of your life. Your emotions are going to affect other parts of life. Your spirituality is going to affect other parts of your life. Any relationship that you have is going to affect any part of your life. The way you use your education or not have it, your wisdom, your tools, your skills, your talents, the way you use that is going to affect every other part of your life. So that's why when I talk to people, I try to keep them in line with me to understand you can come to me for your business support. You can come to me for spiritual support, but I need to let you know that I need to be able to tap into the whole of you. Because we're not just a chester with drawers. We're just not a chester with, oh, I'm just opening this drawer, right? That's not the way it works. We're a human being. We are a life force. We are a divine life force that is elevating and ascending. And so often what's happening, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Please let me know you're here. As I always say, it's better for you to say, hey, and be acknowledged for a second than never be acknowledged and miss an opportunity to get what you desire. Absolutely, positively. If you were pulled over here to this space, you're pulled over here to this space because there's something here that's for you. It may not be what you think you came here for, but definitely there's something here for you. And that's what I want you to acknowledge yourself when you come to the space. Just say, hey, throw a heart up, throw a like up, whatever you want to do, but make sure somebody's acknowledging who you are because you're worth being acknowledged. Some of y'all do not feel that way. That's why a lot of us hide when we come into spaces. We hide. We come into a space and we just kind of want to coexist. We just want to be in the background. It's going to be I'm a background person. I don't really need to be. No, it's not about being in the front. It's about being acknowledged, right? Being acknowledged, knowing who you are and what you have to offer. Just your presence alone changes the atmosphere. And if you didn't believe that, it does. Maybe somebody tried to tell you that your presence caused problems. If it caused problems, the problem is that it made them realize maybe they were lacking something or that they were missing something, right? Or that they had too much of something to give you some. Like, don't let people fool you into thinking that your presence and your existence is not worthy of acknowledgement. Everyone is to be acknowledged. Whether or not they allow you to stay is something totally different, or you choose to stay is something totally different. So you're talking with the, thank you for those hearts and roses. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, honored you. Thank you so much for being here. For those of you coming in for the first time, and good afternoon to you as well. I am Dr. Marian Sisterful of Azon Life Alchemy Center. We are supporting people in having life harmony and an exponential existence. This program is called Chat Time because we believe in having conscious, honest, authentic talks from a divinely inspired vision of ascension. It's all about ascension and expansion here at the Azon Life Alchemy Center. It is all about the holistic harmony of your entire life. That's why I went through that process. And I said, yes, I do work with business people. You probably saw me on a couple of platforms where I was talking about business and money and how my clients were giving testimonies about what happens. Yes, I do have clients that I've made successful in their business. I do have spiritual clients that work with me that work, but it's a holistic process. Right? You may come to me initially for one thing, but then realize that I'm able to support you in other areas as well. So today we're just talking about this whole deal, trusting and believing that who we are is more than enough, right? More than enough. We're dealing with a lot of back and forth thoughts. And as I said, this fall equinox is really about us harvesting all the good things, all the great things, all the honorable things, all the lessons, all the morals, all the improvements that we've had in these last 10 months. I'm going to say 10 months, right? Because we're about to embark on October. So everything from January up until now, all the way to the end of the year, you want to start harvesting. But fall is about harvesting. Hello. Harvesting. This fall season is about harvesting. I'm reminded, and I know I may have spoke of this briefly before, that I had this epiphany when I was traveling for a conference in August. This whole ideal about understanding why my mother used to can and store, and why my uncles then would start killing cows and processing chickens on our land and stuff, and getting it ready at the meat house and all that stuff. I realize now that was about knowing that there was something good that can only be birthed in this season. Right? The tomatoes and the strawberries and all that, the pears, all those things could be birthed in the summer, in the spring and the summer. And then in the fall, we loved it so much. We appreciated it so much. We saw its value so much that my mother would have us, canning, blanching string beans and making strawberry jams and strawberry preserves and freezing them and doing the same thing with all types of fruits and vegetables. And when I was a child, I kind of was like, ugh, why I gotta do all this? Why can't I just play? But now when I look back, I realize that snapping all those peas and beans, and I realize that storing up of those fruits and vegetables, the killing of those cows and chickens and putting them up and slicing them up and putting them into the freezer or jar or whatever. I realized that was because they realized that those things were essential. And we needed to do those things to get through the winter months. The months there wasn't going to be anything able to be produced, or to avoid spending an enormous amount of money, right? The peaches and all that, right? My grandma used to make ice cream, and it was just so delicious. So that's what I'm telling you today. Use this fall equinox, use this fall solstice to be able to, and the retrograde, to be able to reflect back, to take an assessment about what really was working, what really was coming forward for you. What was it that you can take away and package up and store away for you to be able to pull it back out when it's time during your winter of part of your life, whether that's in the real winter months, or whether it's when your finances and your business are drying up, your clients are drawing up, whether there's a breakup in your relationship, whether there's a healing that needs to take place, there's some financial revenue that needs to be generated. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that we need to start thinking more specifically, we need to start thinking more about what can we plan. I'm hearing the word plan a lot. I'm hearing the word plan. We need to start planning how we're going to use this new resource. And even in this storing up, process, there's going to be an opportunity for us to get a bumper crop, aka some money, aka a better connection, aka a contract, a business improvement, even for ourselves. Looking at how we're treating our bodies, looking at how we're treating our conversations. That's what this conscious, honest, authentic talk is about. Harvesting the greater parts of your life and taking them forward with you so that you can use them when you need to have them as reinforcement or as the foundational level for you to springboard yourself back into a better position. That's what we're talking about today. This fall equinox and being able to understand how to harvest what it is about yourself. I keep telling y'all, retrograde is never a bad thing. Retro, go back. Let's go back. A lot of the fashion is retro, right? They go back and they bite off of the retro times, the previous times. A lot of that. The music has remnants of the previous time. So there's a lot in our world that naturally does that. So we have to start thinking in that same way if we're actually going to send ourselves into a greater level of expansion, if we're going to really hold on to the truths that belong to us, if we're going to really require that which belongs to us 100%. See? That's what it's about, to have that flexibility, I had a client that called me and I had worked with her for like a year, and she was like, I just don't get this funnel thing, and I just don't get what you mean when you tell me that. It just doesn't work out for me. I don't understand how you're saying do this and do the free and then it's going to come. And I had to explain to her, when I first meet you, I don't want to hear a conversation for an hour. When I first meet you, I need you to tell me what you're going to do to appease whatever pain structure that I'm having at this present time. Right? And she just couldn't get it. She's like, but it's because of this. I said, listen, when your client is coming to you, why are they coming to you? She said, because. I said, no, that's what you felt. But what is the person who's going to come and get what you felt and how you turned it into a new program? See, a lot of us are trying to meet people and greet people in our lives, on every level of our lives, in our jobs, in our businesses, in our relationships, in our families, in our communities. We're trying to give people, we give them the fire hose. All they asked for was a little glass of water, a half a glass of water, and you're trying to give them everything about your life. You're opening up yourself to give them everything, and they're not ready for that. They're coming to you because they see there's something about you they need to access. So you figure out what it is. That's that purpose we talk about. What is the purpose of them coming to you? Is it for you to tell them all your business? Is it for you to take them under your wing and nurse them like a baby? Is it for you to take them into your home and allow them to just relax and chill? Is it for them to come into your life to remind you of the power, the strength, the wisdom that you have? While they access it, they're going to remind you of that. This is the harvesting we need to take forward. What was the lesson? What is the truth? What is the healing? What are the resources that you need to take into the next level of your life, going through this winter solstice that's coming up in December and into the new year 2023? This is what we're talking about today. Okay? We're talking about that because I don't want to confuse you and make you think that everything is going to be perfectly fine. It takes effort, mastery. That's why my programs always talk about mastery, self-mastery, right? Every program, Mastering My Exponential. Why do I say Mastering My Exponential? Because I want you to understand that what you see right now is not truly what you can do and who you are and what you're offering to the world. You may be selling widgets, but something about that widget is going to open up a space for you to be able to sell not just widgets, but maybe widgets and wisdom. But you can't do that if you never take the time to reflect. If you never take the time to go back and review. You never take the time to go back and assess. You don't take the time to release some people, places, ideas, and beliefs that are hindering you. Sure, you can make money. Sure, you can be successful. But when does it create the space for you to go forward? Right? In my private community at the Life Alchemy Academy, we were talking about the alchemic process, because I do it every year because I want people not to forget why I say I'm an alchemist, life harmony alchemist, because the alchemist is about transformation, taking one thing, getting it down to its purest essence, taking it to its purest essence, and then allowing it to be transformed into something new by the natural elements. Water and fire and time. Yeah, I'll say time is not an element, but I like to think of it that way. And then it's a new revealing. It's a putting together and a new revealing of those parts of you that are left after you go through this process. Some of us don't want to do that. We just want to say, oh, I had a bad time, on to the next. No. Oh, I had a moment. Oh, no. Yes, that is a part of it. But sometimes we have to rest and review and see, how did I get knocked down? Why do I keep getting knocked down in this particular way? Why is this my kryptonite? If you're not aware, if you're not searching, if you're not evaluating, that's why they can keep coming in. I'm a Marvel Comics girl, so X-Men is one of my favorite comic books I ever loved to read, the X-Men. And when I was growing up, I used to read Black Panther, right? But the X-Men are really important because the X-Men are men that are exponential in my way. So what you see is not what you get. You see Gambit. You think he's a criminal, a gambler. But really what he's doing is he's sending energy, fire. He can turn those playing cards into fire and they can cut through things. They can blow up things. They can change things. Right? You see Xavier in a wheelchair. You think he's meek. But he's a mastermind and a super psychic able to support people. Wolverine is timeless. He goes against timelines. His bones are made from a metal that allow him to be impermeable and to break things. I mean, think about that. Storm, she controls the elements. Rogue, a pretty little young girl, super strong. Cyclops, right? What does he do? He pulls off those sunglasses and all kind of light come out of there that will tear you up. See, the X-Men is who we really are. When you really get into your knowing of your alchemy, your personal alchemy, when you really get into understanding how to have conscious, honest, authentic talks, first with yourself, then your life begins to transform and you begin to have a form of ascension and expansion. So then you become more. That's why I tell people I've always been about alchemy and exponentiality. Because that was the one thing that people get confused of. As an educator, I saw people got confused when you start teaching them exponents. Because they want to do what's usual, which is to multiply. So you say 2 to the second power. The first thing you want to do is 2 times 2 is 4. No. That's 2 times 2 is 4. And then 4 times 2 is 8. Right? So that means that it looked like it was something simple. But there was way much more waiting on you. And that's how your life is. Your life is expansion. Your life is full of joy. Bringing harmony to you. Your life is opening up roads that are being opened for you. Positions are being brought to your attention. People are being removed and other people are being replaced. And you're thinking, oh, that person's look like I want to be with. I don't like how that person, I feel intimidated. I'm not sure if I can take this job. But the job is constantly chasing you. The position is constantly chasing you. You're talking about moving and you don't want to move out your neighborhood because you're afraid that moving to this neighborhood, all the stereotypes and all the things that people have been saying are going to come and rest on your doorstep. But the point is that once you move into that neighborhood, that whole entire neighborhood will start shifting because the ripple effect comes into place. You plop down and all of your vibrational goodness, greatness, wisdom, truth, harmony, prosperity, love, honor, begins to magnify within that space. And so people either can ride the ripple or they can get just knocked down by it. But either way, you take the move, you take the step. That's why I said go back and harvest. Harvest what you've been learning. Harvest all these conversations you've been listening to. Harvest all of the books you've been reading. Harvest all the movies you've been watching. Harvest all the visions, all the conversations you've had with yourself. Let's go through and harvest the cream of the crop. Let's store it up and let's begin to pull from it as we're going forward and expanding our lives and having something along the way. I just saw something that said, listen, it's your food while you're on the journey to your next level of greatness. What you're storing up is the fuel and the food that you need. The food that you need to get you to the next level. The storekeeper. Yeah? You are the storekeeper. You are the manager of the assets. You are the quality control officer for your life. You want to open up a business, but get with somebody who knows business. Stop just listening to 1-minute TikToks or some posters on social media. Do the research behind the post. Because yes, if you see a post and someone is telling you how to get a business loan with in your business name and how to start an LLC, of course they want you to buy into their program. That's the whole purpose. So now you do the research and find out who should you align yourself with. I tell people all the time, I'll give you free. If you go to my YouTube page, you go on my social media, you'll see me talking about all type of business tips and opportunity. 2-Minute Tuesdays, right? You'll see me talking about business. You'll see me talking about giving you hints. You go on my pages, I'm talking about it. But what I tell you is that if you really want to know how to do it well, get in my community so I can support you and mentor you and coach you through the process. And there is a fee associated with that. But I know that when I do it, you're going to do it. Because one of the things that people have a challenge with is when we're working on our own level of growth and we're by ourselves. And then we get nervous and something goes incorrect. We're afraid to go back and look to the side and take a pause and ask for some support and guidance. That's in any level of your life. Any level of your life. Never compare yourself in any level of your life with anyone else's life. Because you just don't know. Because you just don't know what they've been going through. You just don't know. That's that Phyllis Hyman. I heard that come out real quick. I had to give her some homage. Right? You just don't know. You don't know what it feels like to be lonely. Wanting, needing, you're one and only. Okay, but anyway, I'm going to quit singing. Y'all got me singing. But y'all get my point, right? To harness all that you have. Harvest it in. Take an assessment. What was the crops? What did you harvest? What did you pull in this year? What did you learn? What do you want to take with you forward? Use this fall season to do that, y'all. Use this fall season to stand 10 toes down. I've been hearing that. I like that sound. Stand 10 toes down. Stand firmly. Accept it. If you got poor money habits, if you're afraid of money, then start looking at how you can connect yourself and get it. Right? Get yourself in a community that allows you to genuinely get some support, hands-on support, or at least some serious step-by-step guided support that lets you fix your credit, that lets you begin to understand cash and credit system, that helps you understand investments, that help you understand how depreciation and appreciation of assets, right? Get yourself in a community that builds you up and encourages you to maintain your optimum physical health. Hey, you know what I'm saying? To show you how to truly eat. I saw something recently that it really made sense, and I have been saying this for a while too, but the young lady said it. She said, people will go and spend $800 for a purse, for a pair of shoes, men and women. They'll buy a watch for $1,100, but they will not go into a grocery store and buy fresh fruits and vegetables because they cost $2, $1, and they feel like they shouldn't spend it on that. They would buy a fancy car and put 91 octane gas in it, which in my current town, 91, because my car runs off of 91 grade gasoline in their car, but then they won't go and spend that same $4, $5 they spend on that gallon of gas. They won't spend that to buy them a healthy meal. I'm just saying. Or a supplement. Y'all think about that. What you value, you prioritize. What you prioritize, you maintain. What you maintain will grow. Hey, welcome to the room. What you prioritize, what you value, you will prioritize. What you prioritize, you will maintain. And what you maintain will grow. So if you're not prioritizing yourself and maintaining yourself, if you don't see the value in yourself, you're not going to prioritize yourself. You're going to prioritize everybody else and everything else. And then you're not going to maintain yourself. And that's more than just saying, oh, I'll go do that. I just felt discouraged of the past bad decisions. Please don't feel. Let me explain something to you. Here's my post that I always tell people all the time. All things are temporary for a permanent purpose. We all have made decisions that are not appropriate. We have all made decisions out of fear, out of lack of wisdom, out of a lack of resting and making a choice. Because sometimes when you're just in a rush, you're just going on what's in front of you. You don't see the big picture, right? So because there is no real right or wrong, just an infinite number of possibilities based upon how open you are to seeing all the possibilities, right? I may have to hang for a second, y'all. Looks like my phone needs a charger. Hang on. All righty. I don't want to lose you. I don't want to lose this time we have together, y'all. I don't want to lose this time. So I'm going back to the person, user 127, blah, 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 right? So here's what I want to say to you is that when you have an opportunity that's presented itself and it makes you feel like it's beating you up, step out of that situation and remind yourself you did what you did with what you had at that time. So if you were not aware, there were other options, or maybe you were aware, but you weren't aware of how to access them. So you went with what was in front of you. That's all. So forgive yourself. The same way you forgive other people for what they've done to you, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Honor yourself. Trust yourself. That's temporary. That's over and done with. Did you learn your lesson? Are you aware now? Now you can take your time. And the next time it's presenting itself, you can do something different. You still have a vibrant, valid future coming forward. Just remember that. You still have a vibrant future coming forward. Don't deny yourself. You're never unworthy. If you were unworthy, you wouldn't be here. It would have taken you out, but it didn't. So that means you're worthy. You're supposed to be here right now. You're supposed to be continuing on. You may not feel good about the decisions you made, but you can always improve and grow. Is that okay with everybody? Y'all with me on that? Thank you for sharing that and being so open. Thank you for sharing and being so open with that. Absolutely, positively, so it is. Yeah, so that's what that's about, y'all. We all make decisions in a split second, and they're usually based upon our previous awareness. You hear me? So we can go from that part. Welcome to the room, Jesse. So don't give up. Don't discourage. Don't deny yourself. Don't dishonor the moment. As we're going forward, don't dishonor the moment. Whether you're feeling that in your current financial status or in your education, your career, your business, whatever the challenge is, forgive yourself, align yourself with, again, going back and reassessing what's going on in your life and what happened and what you don't want to happen, and find some resources. Be bold enough. Do that. Find the resources that can support you and take you to the next place. Too many people are holding on to the past instead of moving forward. You can't change the past. You can only forgive yourself and forgive others, right? Because it's not even about them forgiving you. It's about you forgiving yourself and forgiving others. That's incorrect. That's a low-level vibration. That's a misnomer, and that's fear, and that's limitation. Fear and limitation is what makes you think that age has some type of gauge on it. Age is nothing but a marker of time that we all agreed upon. It has nothing to do with your spiritual self, with your emotional self, and your mental self. Because you could be stifled in your emotional and mental maturity because of an incident that happened in your life. So it has nothing to do with age. Age is simply a marker of time. Your age begins when you begin to open up your consciousness, identify future and present resources, and learn from your past. That's it. And that's what I thank you for saying that, because so many people hold on to what happened in the past, or that this person is 50 years old, this person is 40 years old, this person is an adult. They should, that has nothing to do. A marker of time has nothing to do. Nothing to do. Because technically we're growing every minute, right? We're older every minute. It's about the growth and the acceptance of that new knowledge that's going to take you to the next place. Age is just a marker of time, not evidence of wisdom, maturity at all. No, it's not. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that feedback. You're listening to the Chat Diva, conscious, honest, authentic talks from a divinely inspired vision of ascension, aka Dr. Marian Sister Afu of Azon Life Alchemy Center, where we support people in having life harmony and an exponential existence. Hey, Blue. What's up? No crying emojis, please. If you miss me, just tell me you miss me. If you love me, tell me you love me. But don't you dare cry the blues. I'm here for you. Here for you, here for you. Indeed, I'm here for you. So that's what we're talking about today. You know, going back into our lives and harvesting that which we can, right? Everything was not horrible. Some things were less desirable, and some things we don't want to take forward. Hey, pretty. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, so we have to start thinking in that capacity. Yeah? Thinking in that capacity. What can we glean and harvest? My family is from Beaufort, South Carolina. You give off that calming spiritual vibe. Did you say Helena? My folks is originally from... Oh, my greatness. Keep together. Thank you, my love. Thank you, my love. Yes, family kindred. We kindred. Now you really got to stay in contact with me. We're kindred. We're kindred. We're kindred from that area. Originally, I have on my father's side people that are from there. Yes, Hunty. Yes, Horny. Yes. Me too. Me too. Yeah. I'm telling you, our energy is there. It's there. That gene come through when it's time for us to come through. Hey, Christian. It's coming through. It's gonna come through. Yeah, so that's what we dealing with. If you have not already, click the link and maybe follow me on some of my other platforms, especially Facebook. Today, actually, in 1 hour, I'm going to be on my Facebook Live, spiritually speaking with Sister E. Today on Facebook, I'm going to be doing spiritual tea time where we do, where I talk about spiritual things, and then we talk about, I do some consults with people, one question consults. But you can get all the details by going over to Facebook to spiritually speaking with Sister E. And then you can join me later on this afternoon at 4 o'clock when I do the 4 o'clock money rush, which is me talking about business and stuff in my other group. So like I said, join in. I thank you for staying here and being here. I'm trying to make it to the Heritage Stage at the Penn Center. Yeah, I cannot. I ain't going to be able to do nothing. Listen, I am not even going to be here in the month of, yeah, that's all I can say. I won't be able to make it. I can't tell people what's going to happen. I'm not allowed to speak it out loud. But yeah, I won't be available this year. I know I've been wanting to be there and I haven't been able to be there in a while. So, but I think it's very important, and I'm very encouraging people want to go back and access their heritage, and that's something people think about. What is your heritage, right? Because we know what the culture is. Culture is what you're existing in, you're functioning from, but the heritage itself is what we keep tapping into and acknowledging and pulling upon, because that's what's going to give us the real strength that we need to go forward. We all have informational gaps. Right? That's why our soul sacred script is so important. Our sacred soul script is so important. You only can access that when you tapping into your true life being holding and whatever. So that's where we at, y'all. That's where we at, and that's what I'm holding on to. That's what I'm honoring. That's the space that I want us all to exist in. That's the space I want you to share when you be about this live today. I want you to go up to somebody and remind them if they start talking to you in a low frequency vibration, remind them, especially if they're talking about the past in a way that's supposed to, distract from your greatness, from your movement forward. If you find somebody that's doing that, just thank you for sharing and move on. You ain't got time for that. Mark it down. We don't have time for that. We don't have time for that. Make sure you are taking your time out to honor yourself, breathe, put yourself. Now you in South Carolina, go get some of that water. It's covered. Okay, let me see what happened. Maybe when I move the thing, it messed with my microphone. What about now, y'all? Can y'all hear me better now? Is it coming back through? Did it clear up? I hope that it did, because I just moved it around a second time. Let's see. Thank you. Yeah, so, when people come in your space and they try to remind you of your past, what I tell people to do, what I tell people to, you can still got water in DC. I was out there. Yep, go get that DC water, lake, lagoon, whatever. But definitely always keep yourself around water, absolutely, positively. And you also going through a spiritual awakening, a conscious awakening of your spirituality and what's going on with your life. You really are. You actually have some, as you know, those of us from the islands, those Gullah Islands, we got a little extra something that you need to go and let come through and utilize it in your life more. Your spiritual side, let that come on through. I can feel it. You also have some image. I'm just going to give you this. You also have some, you have a gift that deals with herbs and healing. You have a way of knowing what needs to be done. That's why I'm really picking you up. I see the spiritual side of you. I'm picking up your gifts now. So definitely you need to harness onto that. And you got to remember, you're coming into a new clearing of renewance. And for those of us that are spiritually gifted, whenever this happens astrologically, especially now that we're in the Western world, right? Whenever this retrograde happens, it's our ancestors also pulling us back, telling us, hey, don't forget about us. Don't forget about our heritage. Don't forget about your heritage. Don't forget about what brought you this far. Don't forget the knowledge that we have for you as well. Don't get so disconnected. Listen to yourself. You know what to do. Your feet are burning already. So go ahead and go in the direction. You know when your feet start burning, you in the right direction. Yep, that's for you. That's for you. Ooh-wee. Yeah, I knew it was something. Yeah, I got to get myself to Haiti. I have been finding myself being called to Haiti for a long time. Haiti and, believe it or not, Venezuela since I was a little girl. So I think there's something connected there. Maybe a sibling of an ancestor of mine, or a spouse or something, a parent. Somebody was dropped off in South America, Cuba, Venezuela, Haiti. I really feel that in my genes. Every time I see that flag, every time I hear the music, every time I see the people, I just feel myself pulled to them. So definitely it's worth investigating. Definitely worth investigating. All right, y'all. So it is now 11:07. I'm going to get off this line because I need to prepare for my next session. I'll be back for more chat time. Again, if you are watching this, you can go ahead and follow me. Go ahead. Yo, you're welcome. You're welcome. Wow, girl, are we cousins? You better follow up with me. Follow up with me. Are we cousins or what? Are we cousins or what? I think we may be kinfolk. We're kindred. At least we're kindred, right? We're at least kindred. So stay in contact. Thank you so much for being here. Everyone who's come in, follow me for the next time to get the notice. And you'll see, I'm just very open. And that's why I say I speak very authentically. So people, if you don't want to hear the authenticity, like you got a little bit of who I am, right? You got a little bit of spiritual side, but I was led to do that. So I gave it to you. I gave you your information that I was told to give, and look what it produced. We're kindred. We're kindred, folks. And that's all that matters. That's all that matters. Welcome to the room, Janet. Thank you for being here. We're going to be wrapping up very, very shortly, Janet. The word was just simply this. Make sure you go back and look at the lessons you've learned this year. Harvest up the good, the great, and the fabulous, and store it up so you can pull it out as you're going forward these last winter months and into the new year, so that you can get the best of you being played out. Examine the parts of your life, all parts of your life, not just one. We're focusing on one part of your life. If you're having challenges in your love life, please know that the way that you function in your love life is going to affect other areas of your life. Okay. It's going to affect your spiritual, your mental, your emotional, your physical health. It's going to affect the way in which you have your work, your business, your career, your education. It's going to affect other relationships. It's going to affect your finances. So we need to be on point and know what we can harvest out of our past. I am the Chat Diva. Conscious, honest, authentic talks from a divinely inspired vision of ascension, aka Dr. Marian Sister Afua of Azon Life Alchemy Center. You can follow me here on TikTok and other places, social media, on Twitter and on Facebook. Again, today in about 50 minutes, I'm going to be on my Facebook page live on Spiritually Speaking with Sister E. It's time for spiritual tea time. Spiritual tea time. We can come and get your spiritual consults. One question answered on the spiritual consults. And if you want to have an extended conversation with me regarding your question, then you need to go to my Cash App. But the details are found on Spiritually Speaking with Sister E on Facebook. See y'all again soon. Remember that when things begin to cloud your way, make you feel like you just can't go on, stop. Scream out nice and loud. That's not my reality. And know that it's only a bad dream until you make it the reality. So choose to make your life all that you desire, not what they say. Until next time, peace and blessings.